So you may know me as Daisy, or you may know me as proud autistic girl, person obsessed with cats, weird person with green lanyard, or today a green top, or my personal favourite, normal person in training. It's my personal favourite that I use because I consider myself as about as normal as seeing an alien in a clown suit at a funeral would be. The thing is though, I am proud of it, and it's not just for autism I'm proud of all of it, the full set. If it was a game of Yahtzee, I would be yelling Yahtzee! If it was bingo, I would have run bingo already. And if it was Pokemon, I'd have them all. But instead of having magic pets for fight for me, I get a brain that's like a sieve. And I feel like I'm speaking Martian in my own country. In fact, forget speaking another language. I feel like to have autism is like having your own country and culture. Because sometimes the simplest things that everybody does is like Martian to me. I have to learn body language, that's right. All those basic instincts that you normally learn or don't learn, I had to learn. Like, what's a sad face? Or when the heck to shut up sometimes? So these Pokemon, instead of getting Pikachu and friends, I get anxiety disorder, autism, ADHD, dyslexia, dyspraxia, the list goes on. I have so many, but I have no idea where one begins and the other ends. It's just one big bundle of mess, like a big bundle of string, or your Christmas lights left over from last year. And I feel like I'm kind of doing the hokey pokey. I should be singing where I put my autistic leg in, I put my autistic leg out, put my ADHD arm in. You know, so the thing about hidden disabilities, though, is that they are hidden. I have so many of them, though, that I feel like I'm made of them. They all just sort of join in my torso. One arm is dyslexic, one arm is autistic. And Frankenstein, if he wanted to make a monster made out of hidden disability people, that's me. If he wanted to make one which was a perfect disabled person, he wouldn't need to because, Frankie, if you're in the room, I'm over here, look over here. So, going back to the fact that they are hidden. But the thing I like to describe them as is like watching a graceful swan floating along the lake gracefully, doing nothing. Nothing is making it do that. But underneath is where the party is at, people. Underneath is where it's all happening. Take my brain, for example. I'm glad Robin talked about brain fog, because I get brain fog all the time. I get brain fog without stage fright. So, for instance, when people say, you said potato, and I heard polenta. You know that? Well, it's nothing like that, because I actually heard potato. I heard potato exactly. It went in my ear as potato. It went to my brain as potato. My brain even got the word potato. But then, my brain changes it. It goes, that doesn't make any sense. I'll change it to something else. I think what it actually thinks is, that's a stupid, boring, logical answer. I'm going to make it much more fun by making it non-logical and make absolutely no sense. What is fun about that brain? What is fun about having an autistic breakdown? Because I was told repeatedly that I was staying somewhere for a month when my brain kept telling me it was for a week. What is fun about not having enough food, clothes or money to buy those things? I think it's kind of like autocorrect or predictive text in my brain. You know what can of worms that is, right? Sorry, wait. Can of worms. I just want to correct that. You know what a can of worms that is? See what I mean already? I could start feeling like I'm thinking, I must feed my cattle. I must feed my candle. I must feed my cantaloupe. Or you could start making it so bad that it's not even the right letter. I must feed my dog. I must feed my mouse. I must feed my mum. Or it could make absolutely no sense by the end and be like, I must feed my house. What? If I'm not careful, I might start introducing myself as Maisie, whose favourite animal is dogs. No way. Hamsters. No, that's not it either. Pigs? No. Wait a minute. My favourite anime is cats. Wait, what? You kind of see where I'm getting at here. My brain, I think, does it in self-defence. When it thinks I'm going to get confused or not understand something. The problem with that, though, is that is 99.9% of the time, and that other 0.1%, I'm asleep. To be fair, also, that 1% of the time, I may have confusing dreams, so I can't even get out of it when I'm asleep. My brain used to have the catchphrase, which was I'm confused, because I'm not kissing when I'm saying that I am confused a lot of the time. So I could just end up having most of my life changed by my brain by accident, like I'm in the Matrix or something. In fact, am I actually here? Is this mic actually not really a spoon? And I'm just asleep in my bed because it's the easiest way for my brain to deal with it. Can you imagine if instead of changing it just put a beep in every time I didn't understand, like I was in Jeremy Kyle's show before the watershed, and instead of my favourite animal, it was my favourite beep is beep, or I must feed my beep. So, and in the end, it would just become one long beep. Like, I had tetanus in my ears or something. It would be so brilliant if it wasn't so damn annoying. I am 29, and I don't think I should ever get a test for dementia or a stroke because I'm already exhibiting the symptoms. Now, I'm already forgetting names. I can't remember names, and it gets worse because sometimes I don't even know how to say a word, which I don't know the word of. I'll look at it, and I'm like, that is a something. And I'm like, I know that's a something, but I will say something completely different or not say it. So I know it's a cat I should be feeding. I've lived with cats my whole life. But I either say dog or nothing at all. So the other day, I had a genuine breakdown over the fact that I could not tell my mum that we needed to push the fridge freezer in. Looking at this damn fridge freezer, and I'm like, that's a fridge freezer, Daisy. Can I say the word? So, I don't think I should get tested because it's not just that, but I'm already exhibiting the symptoms. It's not just autism or ADHD that gives me that. It's the fact that I'm lucky if I get your name right now. You're lucky if I use your name if it's the right species, let alone gender, like the right name. I'm not inconsiderate when people change their names for whatever reason. It's just that it took me years to remember your last name you used, and now I'm expected to remember another name, and I'm still getting it wrong with the last one. On top of that, I'm more stable drunk than sober, and I am so bad at popular culture, but despite the fact that I was born in England, my family tree is brighter than the royal families. If I ever get tested for residency, I'm chucked out of the country. So at this rate, if I ever get tested, I'm going to be deemed a drunken person with stroke and or extremely early onset dementia who isn't English. So if you don't hear from me for a while, please check either the other countries in the world or a hospital, a rehab or a mental home, and possibly want to check more than one because I'm likely to be there. So it can get confusing, as you can see, having so many disabilities. Like I said in the beginning, it's hard to tell where one begins and the other ends. I think I have so many of them, but I have so many letters to my name, but I have more than the doctors that gave me them. ADHD, ASD, GAD. I mean, yeah. And it isn't helped by the fact that My autism seems to mainly exhibit itself as an unhealthy obsession with cats and not knowing what is the difference between a normal thing for a human to be doing or have and not. I tend to panic over perfectly normal traits or behaviours of a human. Like the other day, I went to my mum in complete panic of the fact that I realised that I had these 5 wiggly things on the end of my hand, only to be told that it's okay, Daisy, it's okay. They're called fingers. Everybody has fingers. But I know I've got one thing right, because after only a few years of having an autistic diagnosis, I think I've got succeeded in doing what every psychologist, doctor and professional in the place has not managed to do. I can explain autism in a sentence. So here it is, everybody, if you're wondering. Autism for me is when you're a kid in an adult's body, which is great. Don't you think that's great? Who wouldn't want to be a kid? Who wouldn't want to be a kid forever? Aren't kids great? I mean, their innocence, their straightforward thinking, their complete and utter inability to take the answer no. They're amazing. The way they say what they think, the way they throw a tantrum over not getting a cookie. But you know what the best thing really is? The best thing for me about a kid is their love life. You see, as a neurodivergent fellow kid in an adult body, I think I prefer dating as a kid, not dating kids. I just want to clarify that. That's very, very different. As a kid, it was really simple and easy to understand. You get simple, easy lines like, I like you, want to go out with me, want to go on a date with me, want to be my girlfriend or boyfriend. And then there's the classic, my friend says she likes you. And if they don't say anything, don't worry about that, because there's still signs like the classic kissing you and running away giggling. Or for if you're a boy who likes a girl, punching you in the arm. But as an adult, you hear lines like, let's meet up. Meet up where? Mount Kilimanjaro? Want to go for a coffee? Why coffee? This is England. Tea would be good, or I quite like hot chocolate myself. Let's catch up. Catch up to who or what? I wasn't aware this was a race. Are you free tomorrow? No, but you can have a brilliant deal and buy me, get my ego free. And I'm supposed to guess and work out what kind of thing I'm doing. Is it a date or am I seeing a friend? And we wonder why consent's so difficult as an adult to deal with. I reckon if we just went back to as we did as a kid, it would all be solved. As a kid, you had clear, simple, easy steps to recognise, like state that you like them, or go on a date with them next, and become girlfriend and or boyfriend. And then there's, of course, the classic 1940s black and white movie, Going Steady. Actually, do you guys ever know what that means? This going steady? I asked someone once, and they said less sex. So, friendship then? Does that mean that if you're in a relationship and you live with them and you go steady, they basically become your housemate? Now, as an adult, the only 2 clear signs I can see are get their number, what if you already have the number? Go on a date, what if you can't or don't for some reason? For instance, I ruined my first adult-style relationship. Why? Because we were dating in high school. So basically my dates were during high school. I didn't have dates. We barely saw each other outside of school. So I had no idea no longer where we were. I mean, obviously we're in high school. I mean, where we were in a relationship. So I think that I may end up in a relationship and find out that I was in a relationship when he proposes to me. Actually, that may be why so many people who end up in long-term relationships or end up in happy marriage started as high school sweethearts because they knew where they were at the time, so it went easy from there. I want to go back to a time where I knew the guy liked me because he punched me in the arm, or he forced me to play kiss chase, or made me cry and put chewing gum in my hair. want to go back to a time where teasing, bullying and grievous bodily harm were signs that they liked you, because nothing says I love you like a punch in the arm. I want to go back to a time where each phase of a relationship was started by a statement of intention. So now that I've solved this whole consent issue in one set, I'm going to do my own advice and tell you what my intention was for today. So today I was doing, for charity, a comic stand in front of you, my audience, and now I'm going to walk off the stage. But before I do that, I want to give you one last piece of advice. So if there's a pub fight tonight, or you ever get in a pub fight, I want you to remember this. You didn't do anything wrong, guys. You didn't look at him funny. There was nothing wrong. I don't think he's even drunk. He just probably liked you.